Just changed out the discs at the camera at the Misery Condo and are going to head over towards the platform blind going down Misery Hill. We have a few very steep hills on the property that were actually named by the previous owners. The hills were named apparently after hills at Fort Knox, Kentucky, period. This hill is aptly named Misery Hill because it is fairly steep and a little bit winding. With the dry area, it is not too bad of a trip down or even up at this time. We have had other instances when it's a bit wetter and the mud makes you have to get the winch out. As we get down to the bottom of Misery Hill, we're coming up on the creek to the left side, and one of the runoff areas has actually gotten a little bit more eroded, and we're probably going to need to reinforce that just a little bit. Just to the left side of the trail is actually a parallel minor branch of the creek that joins the creek down a little bit further to the east. Just to the left is where we usually will make a turn off to go up to the South Woods and the blind that has been named Big Rack. Not going to be able to do that today since there's been a couple extra trees that went down that I noticed on the left, and the access across the creek looks like it's fairly well blocked, and I'm going to have to deal with those trees before we can open that section of the trail back up. We will be able to go ahead and cross the creek for the most part, just right up here. You do have to be a little bit careful and slow going down into the creek, since this is about at least 2 feet down into the bed of the creek. You can slide a little bit. We actually have to follow the creek bed further west until we get to the trail leading up Jericho Road. This part really can't be traversed when the creek is up, and at times the rainwater really could almost push you right back and not make progress. I was thinking about removing that limb, but we're too close to the creek, and I think Kimber would be in the water in a heartbeat. I also thought I'd be able to go ahead and clear that little bit of a stump on the right side, and I was thinking about getting out and moving it. However, I think Kimber would bolt into the water. A little adjustment and we should be able to get around it. This is a part of the trail that goes up to what was named Jericho Road. You can go straight up, however, that part is extremely steep, and I've had instances of doing a little bit of slideways. This is the main part of Jericho Road, which is a little bit slick at times also. and I've had to use the winch on an occasion or two. This tree branch is going to prevent us from moving easily, and I think we're far enough from the creek that Kimber is not going to make a bolt for the water. Tree out of the way, and we can go ahead and start going on up the top part of Jericho Road. There are a few nuisance branches along this that I'll be able to take care of with the pruner. I'll probably do that on the next trip up this trail. Nice view of the creek at its west end to the right. As we're swinging to the left, there are a few more ruts and a few small twigs that are going to need to be dealt with, period. The top part of Jericho Road runs into the food plot, which is just to the north of the platform blind that you can see coming into view on the right. The clover that we seeded in September looks as though it's starting to green up at this point. Time to change the camera discs.